antenna. Yeah, run it back, turn the lights on when I hit up Green Lantern. Yeah, fly the bras, fly the dogs down to Atlanta. Yeah, in the cut in Medusa, lay low, yeah, I might be. Yeah, roll up, help me calm down when I'm moving high speed. Yeah, if I send one, need to text back, cause you know what I need. Oh, please. Oh, me. Oh, my. We've been moving for some time. Flexing, try to exercise. For this life I cannot change. Hit it, keep off in the main.
sexist comments, taunting, or any other intimidating action directed at the players, the coaches, the game officials, or the spectators will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Once again, thank you for your continued support of USC Aiken Athletics, the Peachmount Conference, and the positive game environment that is the NCAA Division II. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Convocation Center on the campus of the University of South Carolina at Aiken for tonight's women's basketball game featuring the visiting Georgia Southwestern State University Hurricanes and your USC Aiken Pacers. Before we introduce the starting lineups, we'd ask you to please rise as we honor America and those who defend our freedom both at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Augusta Aiken Orthopedic Specialists. Let's meet the starters for Georgia Southwestern State University. A 5'4" senior guard from Bessemer, Alabama, wearing number 5, Destiny Garrett. A 5'8" junior guard from Eatonton, Georgia, number 4, Deshante Simmons.
A 5'10" junior guard from Dade City, Florida, number 14, Kayla Grant. A 5'9" junior guard from Trenton, New Jersey, number 23, Nana Messinet. And a 6'3" junior forward from Ewing, New Jersey, number 32, Leah Johnson. The head coach of the Hurricanes is Hannah Hayden, the assistant coach, Jalissa Mitchell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for your USC Aiken Pacers. She's a 5'10" junior guard. She hails from Neelyville, Missouri. She wears number 10, Meek Gentry Worley. A 5'5" freshman guard out of Floyd, Virginia, wearing number 0, Destiny Harmon. A 5'9" junior forward out of Tucson, Arizona, wearing number 13, Jaya Nelson. A 6' sophomore forward from Beecher, Illinois, wearing number 4, Rhiannon Zoller. And a 6' senior forward from Madrid, Spain, wearing number 20, Marta Rivera. Head coach of the Pacers is Mark Miller, the assistant coach, Guy.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Convocation Center on the campus of the University of South Carolina at Aiken for tonight's women's Peach Belt matchup between the visiting Georgia Southwestern Hurricanes and your USC Aiken Pacers. I'm Reeves Altman saying thank you very much for tuning in, and we are just seconds away from tip-off. Starting tonight for the Hurricanes, the starters: number 4, Jasani Simmons; number 5, Destiny Garrett; number 14, Kayla Grant; number 23, Leanna Messinat; and number 32, Leah Johnson. And for the home team, the Pacers: number 0, Destiny Harmon; number 4, Rhiannon Zoller; number 10, Gentry Worley, as the tip is away, won by the Pacers. Number 13, Jaya Nelson; number 20, Marta Rivera. Rivera gives rate to Worley. She hands off to Harmon. Harmon now has it at the top, getting to Worley down low at the free throw line. She drives in, picks up her dribble, trying to get it back out to Rivera, but the pass is too high, and it'll go to the Hurricanes. Now possession number 14, Grant. She has the ball dribbling to her left, giving off to number 5, Garrett. Garrett passes to Simmons. Simmons finds Messon in the corner, who gives right back to Grant. Grant picks up her dribble at the free throw line. Now kicks back out to Garrett. Looking around now. Massenat cross court pass to number 4. Simmons open in the corner, no good. Rebound fought for down low and pulled by Grant. She kicks back out. Driving in is Garrett, but she has nowhere to go. She has another cross court pass over to Simmons. Simmons finds Massenat in the corner, giving back up to Garrett. She goes down low. A foul is going to be called. Count the basket and 1 on Leah Johnson. Leah Johnson at the free throw line. And she completes the three-point play to give the Hurricanes a 3-0 lead here. As Georgia Southwestern comes out in a full court man defense here. Worley takes the inbound pass, getting it across half court to Nelson. Nelson looking around, finding Rivera in the corner. She's looking, still looking. Now they find Worley at the top. Worley takes a few steps back, now dribbles to her left, passing over to Harmon. Harmon looking around. Takes her dribble, now finds Rivera down on the baseline. She drives inside, stops. Shot on the way is good. Now number 5, Garrett with it, giving off to Grant. Grant calling a play from top. She gets a screen from Johnson, drives the other way. Now giving it to Massenat. She drives, no good. Rebound by Worley on the backside. Initially loses a dribble, but is able to take it. Loses it again, picks up her dribble, now finds Zauer looking around. Zauer finds Rivera in the free throw line. She gives back to Rivera, who's going to give another pass to Zauer. Her shot no good. Rebound by Grant, given off there to Garrett. Garrett has the ball now, looking around at the top. 3-2, Georgia Southwestern leads. She finds Johnson down low, looking around at the high post option. Now giving back to Garrett. Garrett has it on the left side. She gets a screen from Grant. Now giving over to Massenat. Back to Grant. Grant drives the free throw line, takes a shot from the block, and it's good for 2. As the inbound pass from Nelson is stolen there by Simmons, and she puts it up for a quick 2. Nelson inbounds up the court to Rivera, who gives back to Worley now. She finds Harmon in the corner. Harmon going to take a 3. Rattles around and no good. Rebounded down low by Johnson. Johnson passes up quickly to Garrett. Garrett has it up top, looking around. With it on the left side, now dribbling back. Finding Massenat, finding down low to Simmons, who gets it to Johnson on the inside, who goes up for 2. And the Pacers are going to call a timeout here with 6 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the first period. Georgia Southwestern up 9-2. We'll take a quick break and bring you back in just a second. Welcome back to the Convocation Center. Georgia Southwestern leading 9-2 over USC Aiken with 6 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the first period. Leah Johnson, number 32 for the Hurricanes, is off to a hot start. She has 5 of the Hurricanes' 9 points so far and has been busy on the defensive side as well, pulling multiple rebounds, stopping Pacer possessions. So we have a quick stoppage in play here. As play resumes, it looks like one of the Hurricane players had jewelry on as it was taken off, given to a coach, and we are back underway. Worley takes the inbound pass, beating a full court defense, getting it across to Marta Rivera. She gives back to Nelson, who gives to Worley at the top. Worley played defensively by number 4, Simmons, takes a screen from Harmon, still driving to her left, has a step, looks around, gives back to Harmon at the three-point line. Harmon drives in, gives to Worley in the corner. She fakes the shot, takes the screen from Zauer. Great double team there by the Hurricanes. Harmon has Zauer down low, giving to Rivera. Her jump shot from the free throw line, no good. Rebounded by number 14, Grant. Grant gives to Garrett. She has it up top, finding Massenat at the top again, but the pass is going to be deflected and intercepted by the Pacers. Worley with it now. She looks up, finding Nelson in transition. Nelson takes a couple steps back, finding Rivera down low. She fights through contact, no foul called, but it'll go out of bounds, and it'll stay with USC Aiken. The shot was early in possession, so 22 on the shot clock. Worley inbounds to Zauer, who gives right back to Worley. Finding Harmon up top, she's wide open. Her three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound fought for and pulled down low by Leah Johnson. Now Simmons with it, giving to Grant at the top, finding Garrett. Now Massenat with it, number 23, giving back to Grant. Grant looking around to the top and finding number 5, Garrett, on the left side at the three-point line. Finding Simmons, giving back to Garrett. Her three-pointer on the way is good. And that makes it a double-digit lead now, 12-2. Hurricanes double team Worley as she gets across half court. The ball is deflected out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Pacers. Georgia Southwestern was victorious in this first game at home, defeating the Pacers by a score of 74-40. Marta Rivera takes the inbound pass, giving to Worley. Worley bobbles it and loses it, and it's going to be stolen by Simmons. Simmons gives off to Garrett as she comes down the floor with a full head of steam. She looks around, backs out to the three-point line now. Now giving off to 23, Massenat, down low to Johnson, finding Simmons, now finding Grant. Grant drives the basket. Shot no good. Rebound on the backside by Johnson, who puts up for 2. Leah Johnson now leading all scorers with 7 points. Harmon with it. She loses the ball and is going to have to pick the ball up. We have a jump ball called, and it'll go to Georgia Southwestern. Substitutions coming in now for the Pacers. Number 43, Annalise Malone comes in for number 4, Zauer. And number 23, Kelsey Bardonaro comes in for number 0, Destiny Harmon. Garrett with the ball now, giving off to Simmons. Simmons looking around, finding Johnson down low. Johnson looking around, giving back up top to Simmons. Her shot no good, rebounded by Bardonaro. Pacers looking to push tempo here. Worley finds Nelson up top. Now they find Malone. Malone looking around, who gives to Worley. Worley calling for a screen now. Now giving over to Bardonaro. Bardonaro takes a dribble to her left, trying to feed Rivera down low, but it's going to be a kick ball. The ball will stay with the Pacers here. Shot clock at 15. They find Worley in the corner. She drives baseline, picks up her dribble, finds Bardonaro. Bardonaro thought about shooting, but now gives to Rivera, who finds Malone down low. She turns, shot no good, but a foul, and she'll go to the line for 2. That foul will be on Leah Johnson. At the line, Annalise Malone. She is shooting just under 70%, 40 for 58 from the free throw line this season. Subbing in now for Georgia Southwestern is number 24, Kaya Langley, and she's coming in for number 32, Johnson. Malone's first free throw is no good. And her second on the way is good. So 1 for 2 from the line goes Malone. Garrett takes the inbound pass, giving to Simmons. Pacers come out in a half-court defense here. Now Grant with it on the left side, giving up to number 1, Lexi McCulley. McCulley now gives back to Garrett, who gives off to Grant. Grant with it now, shot clock at 10 for the Hurricanes. Grant drives left, finds Garrett on the left side at the three-point line. She's calling for a screen. She gets a screen from Langley. Pass is going to be deflected by Nelson. Simmons has to throw up a deep three. Shot no good off the backboard, pulled by Worley defensively. McCulley has Worley on full court defense now. Bardonaro finds Rivera down low, who's going to find Malone cutting to the basket. Her shot no good, but she draws another foul, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Foul is on number 14, Kayla Grant.
Number 14, Kayla Grant, going to be called for the foul. Coming in now, Corey Tomlin for the Hurricanes, subbing in for Destiny Garrett, number 5. And then number 12, Paris Webster, comes in for the Pacers, and subbing number 20, Marta Rivera. So Malone back at the line now. As her first free throw is good. Second on the way is good as well. So a 2-for-2 trip from Malone cuts into the Hurricanes' lead here with 3 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the first period. Pacers still in a full court defense here as Tomlin has the ball at the top now, picked up by Bardonaro. She gives off to Simmons, who gives back to Grant at the top. Grant finds Langley just outside the three-point line, who gives to McCulley. McCulley takes a step back, finding Langley again. Her shot from the block is good. Webster with it now at the top, finding Nelson. Nelson thought about a three, but Grant had great closeout defense there. They find Malone. Malone's going to take a jump shot from just outside the block, and it's no good. Rebounded by number 1, McCulley. McCulley now looking up. Driving on Webster. She's going to go down low to Langley, but the pass is going to be deflected out of bounds by Nelson, and it'll stay with the Hurricanes. Number 12 in Duque, and number 2, Kayla Adams, sub in for the Hurricanes. Tomlin, number 0, has it on the left side, finding Langley down low. Langley drives in on Malone, and they're going to be a travel called, and it'll go to the Pacers. Nelson inbounds to Webster now, who gives back to Nelson. She's looking up, giving back to Webster. Pacers need to hurry to get the ball across half court, and they do. Webster gives off to Bardonaro. She looks around, finding Nelson now. Bardonaro cutting down low. Ball's in her possession. She gives back to Worley. Worley's three-pointer on the way is good. A deep 2. That was a deep 2. It looked like a 3 from where I was sitting. So 16-7 now your score. Tomlin gives off to Ndukwe, giving down low to McCulley. They find Langley kicking back out to Adams. Adams thought about a 3, but takes a step back, now in the hands of Ndukwe. She finds Langley down low. Langley driving in on Malone. She turns, shot no good. Rebounded by Webster on the backside block. Webster driving, gives off to Bardonaro, finding Nelson. Nelson driving in on Langley. Her shot no good, but a foul is called. Appears it's going to be an offensive foul against the Pacers.
The offensive foul is on number 13, Jaya Nelson. That's her first.
So Jaya Nelson called for an offensive foul. Something must have happened during her drive there. The ball goes back to the Hurricanes. Number 0, Tomlin, brings it across half court. Dribbling left, takes the screen from Langley. The pass is going to be deflected and taken away by Nelson. Nelson with it, driving the baseline. She stops, turns, shoots, and it's good. Tomlin gives to number 2, Adams. Adams finds Ndukwe, giving to Langley. Looking around in the high post option. Gives off to McCulley. McCulley driving, has a step on Webster. Her shot no good, and the rebound is pulled by Annalise Malone. As she gives off to Webster. 37 seconds remaining in the first period. 24 seconds remaining on the shot clock for the Pacers. Webster takes a couple steps back. Gives off to Bardonaro, who finds Nelson, who's going to give to Worley. Shot clock now at 8 for the Pacers. Worley way back behind the three-point line. She tries to get a screen from Nelson, takes a step back, takes a shot, and it's no good. Will go out of bounds. Shot clock is now off. It's going to give the Hurricanes 12 seconds to work with here at the end of the first period. Back on the court is number 5, Destiny Garrett for the Hurricanes. And number 0, Destiny Harmon back on the floor for the Pacers. Also subbing in number 4, Simmons for the Hurricanes. Garrett will take the inbound pass. Shot clock now at 10 as they get it across half court. As she looks around, finds number 12 Ndukwe, giving off to Simmons. Simmons driving on Nelson. Goes around the rim. Shot no good. Ndukwe there for the rebound. And she puts it up for 2 as time expires. That's the end of the first period, ladies and gentlemen. Your score, Georgia Southwestern 18, USC Aiken 9. We will take a quick break and bring you back for the start of the second period right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back. Start of the second period here from the Convocation Center. USC Aiken and Georgia Southwestern in some midweek Peach Belt action. Hurricanes on top 18-9 to start the second period. The Pacers start with the ball. They inbound to Webster, who gives off immediately to Bardonaro. Back in the lineup for the Pacers is number 4, Zauer. She gives off to Harmon, who gives to Worley. Worley looking around, finding Bardonaro again at the three-point line. Zauer with it again. Gets it down low to Worley. The pass is deflected away, but Zauer is able to retain it. Shot clock down to 7 for the Pacers. Webster drives in. She's got to step on Langley. Her shot from the block is good. That was Paris Webster. And now she plays the inbounder, Garrett. As the Hurricanes do get it across half court. Number 5, Garrett with it, calling the offense now, finding Langley down low. She finds Ndukwe out up top. Her three-pointer on the way, no good. And rebound pulled by number 4, Zauer. She's going to quickly get it to Webster. Webster looking up. Calls for a screen, but hands off to Worley instead. Getting it to number 23, Bardonaro, who finds a cutting Harmon. Getting to Zauer in the paint. Her shot from the paint, no good. Rebounded by number 4, Simmons. Simmons gives quickly to Garrett. Gives off to number 1, McCulley. McCulley finding Ndukwe up top. Ndukwe passes to Garrett. Her jump shot from the free throw line, no good. Offensive rebound to number 24, Langley. She'll go up, draw contact, and is going to the line for 2. Number 4, Rand Zauer, is going to be called for the foul. That's her first and the team's first this period. Number 14, Kayla Grant back on the floor for Ndukwe. And Kayla Langley now at the free throw line. Langley in the season is shooting 67% from the line, and her first is good. As her second on the way, no good. Rebounded by number 23, Bardonaro for the Pacers. Webster brings it across half court. Gives off to Bardonaro. Finds number 0, Harmon. Harmon finds number 10, Worley. Worley gives to Harmon. Harmon thought about a three. Drives in, looks around. Tries to get it to Zauer, but it's going to be intercepted by Garrett. And Zauer is going to be called for a foul. And a sub coming in now, Annalise Malone, number 43, subbing in for Zauer. Number 32, Leah Johnson, back on the floor now for the Hurricanes. She comes in for number 24, Langley. Garrett with the ball, finding Johnson down low. We're going to have a blocking foul called on Malone.
The foul was on the Pacers, number 43, Annalise Malone, her first and the team's third.
Garrett going to be the inbounder now for the Hurricanes. She inbounds number 14, Grant. Grant pumps a shot. Now takes a step back, looking around for number 1, McCulley. She has it at the top and now takes a couple steps back to call the offense. Takes a screen from Grant, driving right. Was a step on Bardonaro. Her shot no good. Pulled by Johnson down low. Her shot no good. And the rebound goes to Bardonaro and the Pacers. Paris Webster driving, almost lost her dribble. Now has it, giving over to Harmon. Harmon finds Worley on the left side in the corner. Across court pass to Bardonaro. She's going to find Malone down low. Malone pumps once, drives in, fading away. Shot no good, but she's going to draw contact on Johnson and go to the line again for 2.
Number 32, Leah Johnson, that's her second and the team's first this quarter.
This will be Johnson's second. Substitutions now coming in for the Pacers. Number 20, Marta Rivera, subbing in for number 12, Paris Webster. And Malone now at the line, shooting 2. As her first free throw is good. Cuts the Hurricane lead now down to 7, 19-12. As Malone goes 2 for 2 from the line, now your score 19-13. As the inbound pass is stolen by Harmon. Worley pumps the three, drives in, kicks out to Bardonaro. Her three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound fought for and pulled by number 14, Grant, for the Hurricanes. She passes off quickly to McCulley. She passes over now to Garrett at the top, giving back to Grant. Grant calling for a screen from Johnson. She gets it and drives right, gives off to Simmons. Simmons finding Johnson down low, looking around. Her shot no good, rebounded by number 20, Marta Rivera. Worley looks up quickly and finds Bardonaro, getting it down low to Malone. Malone driving in, pumps, turns, fades away. Shot no good, rebounded by number 32, Johnson. Garrett now in possession. Thought of off the ball movement here from the Hurricanes. She gives over to Simmons. Simmons looking around. Now giving back to Garrett at the top. Finding Grant, flashing up to the free throw line. Corner pass to Simmons. Her three-pointer on the way is good. Number 4, Jasante Simmons with the assist from Grant. Extends the Hurricane lead back to 9, 22-13. Harmon with it, finding Rivera. Rivera, no hesitation. Her jump shot on the way from the free throw line is good. Simmons finds Grant. Johnson looking for it up top, finding Garrett in the corner. Garrett looking around, dribbling now, finding number 1, McCulley up top. She's going to take a three. Her shot no good, rebounded by Marta Rivera and the Pacers. Worley looking up, finding Harmon. Harmon going to take a three. It's good. So after finding themselves down 14-2 early, Pacers cutting into this Hurricane lead now, only trailed by 4. Simmons with it, driving in. Her jump shot no good, rebounded by Johnson. And it's good for two. Pacers inbound it quickly. Worley with it as the Hurricanes go back into a full court defense. Annalise Malone catches it across half court, giving off to Worley. Just under 5 minutes now to play, 24-18 your score. Worley finds Bardonaro. She gets down low to Rivera. Rivera driving in, kicking out to Malone. Malone pumps a shot. Shot no good, and is going to have an offensive foul called as Grant drew the charge, and that'll be Malone's second. Subs coming in now for the Pacers and the Hurricanes. We'll get to those new numbers just after the timeout. But it appears we're going to have an under 5-minute media timeout. 24-18, Georgia Southwestern leads. We'll take a quick break and bring you back for the remainder of the second period.
Sign up in the lobby for your chance to compete.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center. 24-18, Georgia Southwestern currently leads over USC Aiken. Coming in for the Hurricanes during that timeout was number 23, Leanna Massanat, and in for the Pacers is number 32, Kelsey Woodard. Also back on the floor is number 13, Jaya Nelson. Grant with it at the top, finding Garrett. Garrett now looking around, passing to Simmons, getting down low to Massanat. We're going to have a travel called, and it'll go to USC Aiken. Full court defense now from the Hurricanes as Nelson inbounds to Harmon. Harmon takes it herself, dribbling across half court into the corner. She's double teamed looking around, and we're going to have a foul called on the inbound, on the pass. Simmons going to be called for a hold. The Pacers ball in front of the Hurricane sideline. Nelson the inbounder. And she inbounds to Nelson. Or excuse me, she inbounds to Rivera. Worley with it now, finding Harmon. Harmon hesitates, now dribbles right, giving off to Nelson. Nelson drives through contact, and we're going to have a travel called, and it'll go to the Hurricanes. Pacers in a half-court defense now. Garrett with it. Passing out to number 14, Grant. Grant looks around, giving right back to Garrett. Garrett passing over to Simmons, who finds Grant again. Garrett cuts to the free throw line. Shot on the way, no good. Rebounded by Worley. That shot was from Massanat as the pass is going to be stolen. Garrett at the block, no good, and the rebound's going to be pulled by Nelson. Nelson gives the number 10 Worley now. She brings it across half court. She's going to take it herself. Driving shot, no good. But she draws contact and will go to the line for two.
The foul is on number 5, Destiny Garrett of the Hurricanes. Her first, the team's third.
Number 5, Destiny Garrett going to be called for the foul. And Genchi Worley will go to the free throw line for USC Aiken. Worley this season
Substituting for the Pacers, number 12.
shooting 77% from the free throw line. And the sub coming in now for the Pacers, number 12, Paris Webster in for number 20, Rivera. Worley's first free throw is good. And her second on the way is good, so a 2-for-2 trip from USC Aiken makes it a 4-point game. Pacers come out in a full court here. Garrett gives off to Massenat, giving back to Garrett as she pushes it across half court to number 14, Grant. Grant gets back to Garrett at the top, just over 3 minutes to play as Simmons is wide open in the corner. Her shot no good, but number 32, Johnson, pulls the rebound down low and goes back up for 2. Pacers inbound to Harmon, now giving off to Webster. Webster with it at the top now. Now gives to Worley. Worley finds Nelson at the top. Looking around, dribbling left. Her shot on the way, no good. Rebounded by number 32, Johnson. Now Garrett bringing it across half court, finds Simmons, giving to Massenat, back to Simmons. Simmons thought about a 3, giving to Massenat, driving in. Her shot no good on, excuse me, it is good. Fighting through contact, going up, good for 2. Inbounded to Harmon now, as the pass is going to be deflected by Simmons and stolen, and she'll go up for 2. Timeout on the floor now, 30-20 your score, 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the second period. We'll take a break for 30 seconds and bring you back for the remainder of the second period. Welcome back to the Convocation Center. Number 23, Sammy Bardonaro, now in the lineup for USC Aiken. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the second period. They trail Georgia Southwestern by a score of 30-20. Paris Webster with it now. Played defensively by number 5, Garrett, who's been all over the floor for the Hurricanes tonight. Nelson gives off to Bardonaro, who finds Harmon. Harmon looking around. Worley cutting to the basket. She stops in the paint. Her shot no good and rebounded by number 14, Grant. Grant now gives off to Garrett. Garrett gets a screen from Grant, takes it herself to the basket for 2. Now Webster drives in. She loses the ball to go out of bounds, but stay with the Pacers. Now number 24, Kaya Langley coming in for Johnson. 1 minute and 29 seconds remaining in the first half. Bardonaro's inbound pass stolen by Massenat. She finds Garrett. Garrett driving in. Count the basket and 1. That foul's going to be on Gentry Worley. That's her first. And Grant will go to the line to complete the 3-point play. It's her shot no good. Rebounded by number 32, Kelsey Woodard. Harmon thought about a 3. Now passes to Bardonaro, who gives to Worley. Worley pumps, drives, and puts it up for 2. One minute remaining in the second period now. Garrett with it, trying to get the ball down low to Langley, as she does. Langley turns and faces the basket. Woodard on her defensively. Garrett with it now up top again, who drives in, stops, dribbles, finds Simmons, passing to the corner to Grant. Grant drives into the paint. She fakes one way, goes to the basket, and puts it in for 2. Now Webster finds Worley. Worley has it at the top, slowing the tempo now for the Pacers. She hands off to Harmon. Shot clock at 18, game clock at 24. Webster gets a screen from Woodard, who finds Bardonaro in the corner. Shot clock now at 7 for the Pacers. Webster still with it, driving to the paint. Her shot blocked by Langley. Now Garrett with it, driving in on Webster on Bardonaro. She takes a step back, finds Langley down low, who puts it up for two. The Pacers inbound, but they'll have no time, and that ends the quarter. Your score, Georgia Southwestern 38, USC Aiken 22. We will take a quick break for halftime and bring you back for the start of the third period right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back to the start of the second half here from the Convocation Center. Reeves Altman on the call here. Georgia Southwestern leading USC Aiken by a score of 38-22 before play starts. Going to see if we can get you some first half stats here. Leading the way for Georgia Southwestern with 11 points was number 32, Leah Johnson, followed closely by 7 points each from Jasanti Simmons and Destiny Garrett, number 4 and 5, and also Kayla Langley with number 5. The Hurricanes pulled 19 rebounds, 12 defensively, 7 offensively, went 17 for 35 from the floor and 2 for 4 from the free throw line. The Pacers were led scoring with 6 points by Gentry Worley, followed by number 43, Annalise Malone with 5, and Marta Rivera with 4 points. The Pacers pulled 14 rebounds, 13 defensive, 1 offensive, 7 for 20 from the field, but 7 for 8 from the free throw line. As we'll start things off here in the third period, number 5, Garrett with the ball. She's double teamed by Harmon and Zauer. She has it up top, finding Massanat. As she drives in on Worley, finding Johnson down low. Her shot no good, rebounded by Worley on the backside block. Worley looking up, finding Zauer. As she loses the ball in traffic, stolen by Grant. Picked up by Simmons, finding Garrett driving in. Her shot rattles around and is no good. Rebound pulled by number 4, Zauer for the Pacers. Nelson with it now, finding Rivera. Rivera looks around, no hesitation. Her jump shot on the way is good for 2. Garrett hands off to Simmons, who hands off to Massanat, who finds Garrett, who will drive to the basket for 2. Now Harmon with it. She drives, is double team, spins out of it, and is going to be called for a travel. Move the pivot foot a little too much. The ball will go to the Hurricanes. Garrett gives to Zauer, and she has, to Simmons, and she has a wide open lane to the basket for 2. Marta Rivera takes the inbound pass, who gives off to Harmon. Harmon dribbles around, now looking, giving back to Worley. Worley passes off to Nelson, who gives to Rivera, finding Harmon. Harmon thought about a shot, now looking around, who's going to try and get it to Worley, but it's going to be stolen by Grant. Grant's going to take it all the way, but shot no good. Rebounded by Worley. Grant gives to Rivera. She stops. Her jump shot on the way, rattles around, and falls for 2. Number 5, Garrett with it. Harmon and Zauer on her. Pass now in the hands of Johnson. Johnson looking around, now drives in on Zauer, spins, turns, shoots. Going to be called off for a travel, and the ball will go to the Pacers. Number 23, Bardonaro in the lineup now for number 0, Harmon in the Pacers. Rivera hands off to Worley. Worley drives to the left side corner, finding Zauer down low. Zauer turns, her shot no good. Rebounded down low by number 5, Garrett. Massanat with it at the top, finding Grant, who gives off to Johnson. Johnson looks around, passing to Simmons. Simmons drives in, takes a few steps back. Worley almost got a hand on it, but now Simmons still with it at the top, giving to Garrett. Garrett stops, drives in on Bardonaro, finding Johnson wide open down low. Her shot rattles around and is no good, but falls right back in the hands of Garrett. Now Garrett dribbling to the left. Substitutions coming, preparing to come in for the Hurricanes. Garrett stops up top, shoots, steps back, shot on the way. No good, but a foul is going to be called, and she'll go to the line for 2. So there was a foul on the play. They're going to say it was after the shot, so no free throws coming up. Sammy Bardenaro, number 23, going to be called for the foul. Coming in for the Hurricanes is number 24, Kayla Langley, and number 12, Ndikama Ndukwe for the Hurricanes. Also number 12, Paris Webster in the lineup for the Pacers for Bardenaro. Ball inbounded to Garrett. Garrett dribbles left, finding Massenat in the corner. Who's going to get it? Ndukwe down low. And the shot's going to be pulled by Nelson, and we have a jump ball. Looks like it'll go to the Pacers. Excuse me, there's going to be a foul called. Going to be called on number 12 Ndukwe. That's her first. The Pacers will take the ball inbounding now to Webster. Webster finds Worley. Her three-pointer on the way is good. Gentry Worley from behind the arc. That gets her to 9 points. She leads the Pacers offensively. Massenat a cross-court pass to Simmons, finding Langley down low. Her shot from the block, no good, but rebounded by Ndukwe at the, Massenat in the corner. She finds Simmons. Simmons has a step on Webster. She drives in, shot no good, but she'll draw contact and go to the line for two. Number 4, Rand Zauer, going to be called for the foul, and she'll come out in substitution for number 43, Annalise Malone. Simmons now at the free throw line. This season she's shooting 71% from the line, as her first shot is good. Her second is good as she goes 2 for 2 from the line. Now the Pacers with it. Webster takes the inbound pass. She looks around, passing up to Nelson. Nelson finding Malone down low. Malone drives in. Her shot, hook shot from the paint is good. Massenat gives off to Ndukwe, trying to get it down low, but a late foul is called. The ball stay with the Hurricanes. Number 43, Annalise Malone, going to be called for that foul. That's her third foul. Excuse me, that is her second foul. And number 1, Lexi McCulley, now back in the lineup for the Hurricanes. McCulley inbounds to Garrett. Garrett drives the baseline, now dribbles out, finding Ndukwe up top, giving back to Garrett. Garrett finding Langley down low. She drives in, turns, and she'll be called for a travel ball. Go to the Pacers. And we have reached the under 5-minute media timeout here in the third period, so we'll take a quick break. 44-31, Georgia Southwestern leads. We'll take a break and bring you back for the remainder of the action in the third period right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back after the media timeout. 44-31, your score. USC Aiken going to be taking it out of bounds on the baseline. Hurricanes in a full court defense here. Paris Webster, number 12, takes the inbound pass. As she drives in, she's going to take it herself. Shot no good, but she does draw contact, and she'll go to the free throw line.
The foul is on number 1 of the Hurricanes, Lexi McCauley, her first, the team's second.
Number 1, Lexi McCauley called for the foul,
Checking the lineup is
sending
number
Webster to the free throw line.
And shooting free throws for the Pacers, Paris Webster.
Webster shooting 60% this season from the free throw line. As her first is good. Her second free throw on the way is good, and Webster goes 2 for 2 from the line. Langley gives off to Garrett across half court. And she gets it to Langley down low again. She drives into the paint, goes from block to block, and her shot is good for 2. Nelson inbounds to Malone as she hands back off to Webster. Webster gives to Nelson now, looking around, trying to get the ball down low. Rivera lost it for a second, but is able to retain possession. Giving to Worley. Worley giving back to Rivera. Her jump shot on the way, no good. Rebound fought for on the backside and pulled by number 0 for the Hurricanes. That was Tomlin. Tomlin fights through the double team and gets it up to Ndukwe, who quickly gets it to Simmons. Simmons finds Langley down low. Langley drives in, turns, shoots, fades away, and her shot is good for 2. Nelson with it up top, thought about a 3, now looking around. He finds Rivera. Rivera pumps once, trying to get it inside, but there's going to be a foul called. Number 12, Ndukwe, going to be called for the foul. That's her second foul. Number 2, Kayla Adams coming in for number 4, Gisante Simmons for the Hurricanes. Annalise Malone takes the inbound pass, gives to Stephanie Bardonaro, who's going to find Rivera down low. Fight for it on the backside. Well, appears we have a foul called. Not sure who it's on. Appears it's going to go against the Pacers. Actually, there is no foul. The ball just went out of bounds, so we'll play on. Hurricanes with it now. Tomlin with it, passing up to Garrett. Garrett thought about a 3, now passing back to Tomlin. Tomlin gives to Adams. Adams gives to Langley, almost deflected by Webster. Langley stops, kicks to the corner. Tomlin's 3 on the way, no good. Langley there for the rebound. Her shot is good for 2. Langley now leading all scorers on the floor with 11 points on the evening. Rivera now with it. Finds Malone down low. She lost it for a second. Her shot from the block, no good. Great defense there from Ndukwe, and the rebound by Langley on the backside. Ndukwe with it up top, giving off to Tomlin. Tomlin drives in the three-point line. Adams with it on the left side. She finds Ndukwe, giving back out to Garrett. Garrett going over to Tomlin. The pass is going to be deflected. Annalise Malone now with it for the Pacers, and who gives now to Worley. Worley driving in. And she's going to be fouled on the drive, and they're going to take it out of bounds on the baseline. Foul's going to be called on Tomlin for the Hurricanes. That's her first.
The team's third, or the team's fourth. And checking the lineup for the Pacers is number 0, Destiny Harmon.
Destiny Harmon back in the lineup for the Pacers now, coming in for number 12, Webster. Worley gets it to Malone down low, and her shot's going to be blocked by Langley as it'll go out of bounds, but stay with the Pacers. Bardonaro inbounds to Rivera, who gives it, who gives now to Worley. Finding Harmon, getting down low to Malone. Malone turns, faces, shoots. No good, but a foul is called.
The foul was on number 24, Kayla Langley, her first,
Number 24, Kayla Langley, going to be called for a foul. That's her first, sending Annalise Malone to the free throw line. Malone's first shot is good. As Malone goes 2 for 2 from the line. Number 4, Rand Zauer, back in the lineup now for USC Aiken. She comes in for Malone. Tomlin inbounds to Adams. Now Ndukwe with it, giving back to Tomlin, giving back to Langley. Langley gives off to McCulley, fighting through contact. Now Tomlin with it again at the top. Shot clock at 11, game clock at 1 minute and 28. Ndukwe gives Tomlin a screen. Her jump shot no good. Originally deflected, then pulled by Marta Rivera. Worley with it up top now, looking around, finding Harmon. Harmon looking now, passing to Rivera, finding Zauer down low. She turns. Her shot from just outside the paint is good. 1 minute left in the quarter now, 50-37 your score. Tomlin gets a screen from Langley, gives to Ndukwe, finding Adams. Pass little out of the reach of Langley, and the ball goes to the Pacers. Kayla Grant coming in for number 12 Ndukwe, and a sub coming in for the Pacers. Number 12 Webster coming in for Gentry Worley. Excuse me, Paris Webster now in the lineup. She's in substitution of Worley. 47 seconds remaining. Pacers trail by 13 now, 50-37. Webster gets a screen from Rivera and Zauer, driving in, giving to Zauer. Passing back to Rivera. Rivera's going to drive in. Her shot no good from the block. Rebounded by Langley. She passes Adams, who quickly gets the ball to Tomlin. Shot clock at 23, game clock at 24. Tomlin with it, finding Langley down low as she drives on Zauer, but a foul is going to be called before the shot. Rand Zauer going to be called for the foul. That's her fourth. Excuse me, that's going to be her third. Number 32, Kelsey Woodard, in the lineup now for the Pacers. So 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock, 20.8 seconds remaining in the third period. Tomlin with it up top. She takes a couple steps back. Hurricanes going to look for one final shot here. Now shot clock down to 10. Adams with it. Bardonaro on her defensively. Langley down low, driving on Woodard. Her shot no good. Deflected and pulled by Harmon. Webster with it. 1 second remaining. Webster puts up a half-court shot, and it's no good. That'll be the end of the third period. Your score, Georgia Southwestern 50, USC Aiken 37. We played 3 quarters. We're going to take a quick break and bring you back for the start of the fourth period. We'll get you the starters on the floor in just a second right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back. Start of the fourth period here. fairly even match third period. Only 12 points for Georgia Southwestern and 15 for USC Aiken. They start the period trailing by 13, and they'll start with possession. Gentry Worley starting with the ball. She gives to Harmon. Harmon played aggressively by Grant. Great defense. Malone pumps. She goes to the basket for two. Pacers come out in a full court defense here. Tomlin gets it across to Grant. Now finding Adams. Trying to get it down low to Langley, but it's going to be intercepted by Malone. Pacers with it now. Worley looking to push tempo. She drives in, giving off to Bardonaro, who finds Malone. Malone gets down low to Rivera. Rivera dribbles in the paint, loses the ball. Is going to be stolen by Langley and given quickly now to McCulley. McCulley across court pass to Tomlin. Tomlin with it now, dribbling in, now backs out. Calls for a screen from Langley, drives left, gets to the free throw line, steps back. Her shot on the way is good. Nothing but net from Tomlin. Worley's pass to Harmon is deflected, but she's able to retain it. Now giving to Rivera. She looks around, finding Worley. Worley driving in. Shot no good, and we have an offensive foul called, and it'll go against Worley. That'll be Worley's second. Jaya Nelson coming back on the floor, along with number 32, Leah Johnson, and number 4, Jasante Simmons. Tomlin with the ball. She drives in. And she's looking around, finding number 14, Grant at the top. She gives the ball to Johnson. Johnson with it now, giving over to Tomlin. Tomlin drives in, stops at the free throw line, giving back to Grant. Grant fakes in, drives in. The ball's going to go out of bounds off of Harmon, so shot clock remains at 7 for the Hurricanes. Simmons shot on the way, no good, as it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a shot clock violation. Ball goes to USC Aiken. Great defense there from the Pacers. Georgia Southwestern now in a full court defense, much like the Pacers were a minute ago. Worley drives up, is going to be double teamed. The ball given to Nelson. Bardonaro's three-pointer on the way, no good. As the ball is deflected out of bounds off of the hands of Johnson, the ball stays with the Pacers. Shot clock at 20. Bardonaro going to inbound right in front of the Pacers bench. She finds Malone. Malone looking around, now giving off to Worley. Worley giving to Nelson. Nelson drives in. Her shot is good for 2. Now Tomlin with it. Finding Johnson down low. Johnson turns, faces, shoots. And Malone is going to be called for a foul, sending Johnson to the line. That'll be Malone's 4th.
That's her 4th. It's the team's 2nd. And visiting the charity stripe, Leah Johnson.
Leah Johnson now at the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Hurricanes. Number 24, Kayla Langley, coming in now for Grant. Second free throw, no good. Rebounded by Bardonaro. Now Gentry Worley with the ball. She finds Nelson in the corner. Nelson drives in, loses the ball, but it finds its way to Harmon. Worley drives in, now takes a couple steps back, finding Malone down low. Count the basket and 1.
The ball is 24, Kayla
Sub coming in now for the Pacers, Marta Rivera in for Harmon. And Annalise Malone at the line, attempting to complete the three-point play. Subs coming in also for the Hurricanes, number 5, Destiny Garrett coming in for McCulley, number 1, and then number 23, Massenat coming in for number 0, Tomlin. Malone's free throw, no good. Rebounded by number 24, Langley. Massenat with it. Now giving back to Garrett. Simmons looking around, giving to Langley. Langley passing across the court to Garrett. Garrett giving back to Simmons. Shot clock at 5. Garrett drives in, stops, picks up her dribble, going to be deflected, stolen by Bardonaro. Bardonaro gives quickly to Worley, who passes up to Nelson. It's going to be blocked from behind. Going to go off of Nelson, and they'll give the ball to the Hurricanes. I did not get a number on that chase down block, but that was great defense and good defense not to draw contact to send the Pacers to the free throw line, and they get the ball right back. Simmons gets it across half court to Massenat, and we're going to have a foul called on Worley. That's Worley's third. The team's third this quarter. Simmons the inbounder. She inbounds to Garrett. Garrett gets a screen from Johnson looking around. Staying around the three-point line. Trying to get it down low to Johnson again. She does. Johnson looks around, passes across to Massenat. Her three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebounded by Simmons. Massenat getting to Langley down low. Langley goes to the basket, rattles around, and drops for 2. Timeout called now by Georgia Southwestern. That's going to be a full media timeout. 55-43 your score with 5 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the fourth period. So we'll take a quick break and bring you back for the remainder of the action right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back. 5 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the fourth period. USC Aiken with the ball trailing by 12, 55-43. Jaya Nelson takes the inbound pass. Pass is going to be deflected but retained by Bardonaro, who's going to give right back to Nelson. Nelson finds Worley at the top. Worley finds Nelson in the corner, now getting it to Rivera. Rivera drives in. Her shot a little too strong off the backboard, rebounded by Johnson. Simmons shot too strong, but she follows her shot and pulls her own rebound. And a beautiful pass inside from Garrett finds Johnson on the inside for 2. Worthy with it at the top now. Gives off to Bardonaro. Bardonaro trying to get it down low to Malone. She does. Malone fakes, shoots, no good. Rebound by Johnson. Bardenauer falls down, but she's able to get back up. Johnson finds Massanat on the left side. Langley's wide open on the block for two. We have a timeout called on the floor. Another full media timeout now, 59-43 your score. And we will take a quick break and bring you back for the closing minutes here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back. 4 minutes and 36 seconds remaining here in the fourth period. Georgia Southwestern leading USC Aiken 59-43. As the Pacers inbound the ball, Bardenauer inbounds to Webster. Pass to Worley, almost stolen by by Garrett. Bardenauer finds Malone down low. Malone finds Zauer from the free throw line. Her shot is good. Garrett takes the inbound pass, defensively played by Webster. Johnson with it just outside the free throw line, gives back to Garrett. She drives inside, kicking out. Massanat open for three. Her shot no good. Fought for, pulled by Simmons. Simmons driving in, now dribbling around. Shot clock resets to 17. Garrett thought about a deep three, but now dribbles out. Georgia Southwestern going to start burning some clock here. As she dribbles to the corner, still getting a screen from Langley. Driving in, shot from the free throw line, no good. Langley there for a rebound and goes up for two. Langley, the leading scorer right now on both sides on the floor with 17 points. Worley thought about a three, drives the baseline. Her shot good, count the basket and one. Number four, Jasanti Simmons, going to be called for the foul. As subs coming in for the Pacers, number one, Mackenzie Lott on the floor. And Worley on the line for the three-point play. Worley's shot is good. Destiny Harmon coming in as well. She's coming in for Worley. And number 20, Marta Rivera subs in for number 43, Annalise Malone. Number 23, Massanat, takes the inbound pass and gives off to Garrett. 3 minutes remaining now. Simmons drives in, takes it herself to the basket. Johnson there. We have an offensive foul called, and they'll go to the Pacers. And number 11, Morgan McDermott coming in now for Sammy Bardenaro. McDermott inbounds to Harmon. Who finds McDermott? Getting it down low to Zauer. Zauer takes a step back. Her jump shot rattles around and does not fall. Rebound goes to Johnson. Massanat finds Simmons cutting to the basket. Her shot is good for two. The ball's inbounded to Harmon. pass is deflected, stolen by Simmons. Now Garrett with it up top, 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. Massenat with it at the top, finding Simmons cutting to the basket. Shot no good, but she'll go to the line shooting 2. Morgan McDermott going to be called for the foul. Kelsey Woodard subbing in for the Pacers for number 4 Zauer, and number 4 Simmons at the free throw line shooting 2. First free throw no good. Simmons goes 0 for 2 from the line, giving the ball to Harmon. Harmon dribbles across half court, trying to get it down low to Woodard. She does. Kicking to McDermott at the free throw line. She gets a screen from Woodard. She takes a step back, finding Rivera. Rivera drives in, loses the ball, finds number 1 Mackenzie Lott. Lott driving left, picks up her dribble, and we're going to be called for a travel. Ball back to the Hurricanes. Number 4 Rand Zauer subbing in now for number 20 Rivera. Now Garrett with the ball, bringing it across half court. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining in the game. Grant with it, giving to Garrett. Garrett thought about a 3, now dribbles right, giving back to Grant up top. Giving it to Johnson, finding Massenat. Massenat drives in, one-handed layup, good for 2. And the inbound pass is going to be stolen by Garrett. Ball goes out through the hands of Simmons, out of bounds, and it'll go to the Pacers. Ball inbounded to Harmon now. 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining. McDermott with it on the left side, looking around, dribbling to her right, gets a screen from Woodard, finding Harmon, getting over to Woodard. Woodard turns, faces, shoots, rattles around and falls for 2. Now number 23, Massenat with it. Giving across to Garrett, 38 seconds remaining in the game, 21 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Garrett going to take a 3, and a foul is going to be called on the floor. Rand Zauer going to be called for the foul. That's her 5th. And subbing in for her is going to be number 23, Bardenaro. Number 14, Grant at the line, shooting 2. $66-50 your score. Harmon with the ball now. She gets it across half court as the shot clock has been turned off. Lott with it on the left side. She drives in, now finding Bardenaro. She finds Woodard down low. She's going to lose the ball, but a foul is going to be called.
Foul is on number 32, Leah Johnson.
Leah Johnson going to be called. That's her 4th. And Destiny Harmon gives off. Bardenaro in possession now. Giving to McDermott. Finding Woodard down low. She faces, shot blocked, deflected by Johnson. And that's your ball game. Your final score, Georgia Southwestern 66, USC Aiken 50. With the game, the Hurricanes improved to 18-3 overall, 7-2 on the road, and 11-2 in conference play. The Pacers fall to 4-19, 0-13 in conference play and 3-7 here at the Convocation Center. That'll about wrap it up for the women's game today. Thank you so much for joining us. In about 30 minutes, the Georgia Southwestern and USC Aiken men's game will tip off right here. So don't go anywhere. We'll take a 30-minute break and bring you back for the start of the men action. But until then, I'm Reeves Altman saying thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here from the Convocation Center.
Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now. Baby, I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down. Baby, we took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town. Baby, where did these be at when they say they doing all this and all that? Tired of beefing you bums, you can't even pay me enough to react. Been waking up in the crib and sometimes I don't even know what I'm at. Kids don't pay their bills in this party, I can't even listen. Shot City, somebody, it must be a victory lap.
Yeah, do you think about me now and then? 'Cause I'm coming home again. I met this girl when I was 3 years old, and what I love most, she had so much soul. She said, excuse me, little homie, I know you don't know me, but my name is Wendy and I like to blow trees, and from that point I never blow her off. Niggas come from out of town, I like to show her off. They like to act tough, she like to tone them off and make them straighten up their hat, 'cause she know they soft. And when I grew up, she showed me how to go downtown, and at nighttime my face lit up so astounding. I told her and my heart is where she always be. She never mess with entertainers 'cause they always leave. She said it felt like they walked and drove on me. Knew I was gang affiliated, got on TV and told on me. I guess it's why last winter she got so cold on me. She said, yeah, keep making that platinum and gold for me. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? 'Cause I'm coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then?
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra. And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. All of my Dominicanos right there up on Broadway. Pulled me back to that McDonald's. Took it to my stash spot, 560 State Street. Catch me in the kitchen like a Simmons whipping pastry. Cruising down A Street, off-white Lexus. Driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. Me, I'm out there Bed-Stuy, home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard, and I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tata, still sipping my top. Sitting courtside, Knicks and Nets give me high five. I be spiked out, I can trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I most definitely from.
Southside, we gon' set this party off right. Westside, Westside, we gon' set this party off right. Man, I promise, she's so self-conscious. She has no idea what she doing in college. That major that she majored in don't make no money, but she won't drop out. Her parents will look at her funny. Now, tell me that ain't insecure. The concept of school seems so secure. Sophomore, 3 years, ain't picked the career.
Last name ever, first name greatest. Like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with. Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. In your city, faded off the brown. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know, swimming in the money, come and find me. Nemo, if I was at the club, you know I balled. Chemo, dropped the mixtape that sounded like an album. Who'd have thought a countrywide tour be the outcome? Labels want my name beside an X like Malcolm. Everybody got a deal, I did it without one. Yeah, I'm about my business. Killing all these rappers, you would swear I had a hit list. Everyone who doubted me is asking for forgiveness. If tell me I fell